Hello and welcome back to Lorcan Villain. My name is Baker and today we're doing our first tier list video on the channel. We had a little poll in the community tab on my channel where I asked if people would prefer to see Chapter 1 cards tiered by either how good they were in Chapter 1 format, how good I think they're going to be in Chapter 2 format, and by best art. And overwhelmingly, it was, you wanted to know what I think the probability of success for all of the Chapter 1 cards will be in Chapter 2 format, Rise of the Floodborn format. So we're going to do that. I will glaze over some cards because I've had too many videos go way too long recently and there will inevitably more, so I want to try and at least have some shorter ones. And as always, of course, some of my predictions will absolutely be incorrect as the meta develops and get to play test more and we see the results and all that jazz. But nonetheless, let's jump straight in. Also, I've kept this as A through to D tier, but let me know in comments I wanted to personalize them a little bit. But I couldn't think of let me know in comments what you think our personalized tier rating should be. But nonetheless, first off, we've got Aerial, Voiceless. I mean, this sort of card started to see a little bit of play towards the end of the format in Ruby Amber, where it put in a little bit of work. I'm not feeling thrilled about her. I don't think she's absolutely D. Is that absolute trash tier? I don't think she's that bad, but I don't see her doing too much. Maximus put in a shift in first format, and with the introduction of new cards that benefit from support. I'm mostly thinking of things like the World's Greatest Criminal Mind, because of course you could also look at Alice from Sapphire, but I still think that's going to be a bit of a fun deck. But Maximus has proved very useful, and I don't see that usefulness dying out. I still think it's only B tier. It could make a case for A, but I want a little bit more from my A tier. But yeah, it's still a solid card. Vicious Betrayal saw 0 play in previous format, but obviously in this format he works well with Pete. We don't know how good Pete is going to be. We do have a few more villains. There's a chance it ends up being a math fixer. We're going to put it for C for now. It could end up falling or rising a tier based on success. Dr. Facilier's cards, another card that saw no play in Season 1, unlike Lantern, which is basically the same thing, but Lantern is obviously for characters as opposed to actions. There are a lot more actions around. I'm starting to see some action decks popping up. It could be that it ends up being good. It could be that it just doesn't work and it's too inconsistent and it falls off. But I think there could be a world where Dr. Facilier's cards ends up getting a little bit better. We're still only going to go C tier because unproven, but I would have last season this was D tier, but I feel like maybe there's a few more actions to warrant this a little bit more. Stolen Scimitar, I'm sorry, this is D tier. We need some more good Aladdins before this even potentially becomes useful, and even then it still might not. Abu, you've got the 3/2 stat line. We have I'm sorry Abu, I'm probably gonna go I'm probably gonna go trash for you're a 2 cost or a 3 cost. I can't see the cards I'm seeing what you're seeing. And yes, I should have a better knowledge of all the cards from covering it the entire season. Most I do, but who plays a boo, man? I don't know. It's a 2 or 3 cost nonetheless. We got Felicia, so you're trash. Aladdin, I'm sorry. This is going straight in S tier. This was so powerful Season 1. I see no reason why it isn't going to continue to be powerful. Yes, he will be banished to the World's Greatest Criminal. We have more removal cards, and one of them is specific to 5 strength or more, which does get Aladdin, but a lot of the time you were shifting him or playing him with Amethyst, where you could give him Rush. Yeah, I think a really good card. The Baby Aladdin, I'm probably going to go with B tier. Solid for the Lord and Isle and the shift ability. I don't think it's good enough for A tier, though. Captain, that's the fact that I'm actually going to go C tier. It's all next to no play in Season 1, but with the addition of Resist and a couple more bulkier things, it could be that having 6 matters in Ruby. What other Ruby cards do we have that have 6? Maybe he moves down. Maybe he is just trash tier. Yeah, let's go with trash. This Captain Hook, as much as I want to be a believer, and the Rush is interesting, I don't see, especially since we just got Scar. So unless we get some major, pirate support in future sets, yeah, that's what it's going to take. Some more pirate support and some more Captain Hook-based stuff to even potentially bring this into meta. Donald Duck, I mean, I'm probably just going to go... No, we should respect it to a degree. It's a 2 cost, 2/3. It could end up being important. I think we need to show a level of respect to just vanilla 1 and 2 costs, most of them anyway. This Elsa is absolute trash. This Maximus, I'm going to go C tier. Some novel use with the ability changing. Gaston, I actually think is a solid A card. There's a chance it... because it was very popular Season 1. There is a chance, because we've got Felicia now. And so that's a turn 1 drop to hit 3. But again... That's not 4, and 4 is good. Yeah, I think A tier is warranted. Goofy, I think, is really good. And I'm actually going to go A tier because I think evasives, they got stronger and weaker. Like, we got more evasives, but then the limited evasive characters that we were already using, most of them now aren't warranted. Like, we'll get to Pongo and a couple other things that just die too quickly to things like Fidget, and like, there's just too many evasives that can hit for 3. But because Goofy's got the 4 willpower, I actually think that's probably still an A tier card. LeFou, I am actually also going to go A tier. It's one of our best readiers. It had use in previous format. I wouldn't be surprised if we see it again. Plus, there's more ways to play it. Combos with, we've all seen the infinite lore or the infinite drawing loop that you can do with Dr. Facilier, etc. So yeah, I think LeFou is still solid. Maleficent, is it good enough for S? I think it's gotta be. Like, it was such a defining card of season 1. I do think it was that strong, and I still think it is. Yes, there's more removal, and yes, it falls into that category of dies the world's greatest criminal mind, but you don't care. You just want the come into play ability. And with the additional cards like Bounce and the actual card called Bounce, and then the purple Bounce sort of stuff, the Madam Mim cards, like, you can just recycle these, and I'm really excited for that. So yeah, S tier. Maui's S tier. It was so good season 1, and I don't see that changing in season 2. Mickey, I'm going to go, I think still A. It's probably the bottom of A. There's a cause for B because it had good use in season 1, although it wasn't a pivotal part of anything. And I still see it falling in as a 1 or 2 drop. Again, like, there's also the use if you're playing the Disguise Queen deck. But the more I've tested with that, the more I think that's probably not going to be consistent enough. I may be wrong. I'm still to give some proper testing to the version with Amber, with Recycle and things like Be Our Guest. Because the problem I've been finding with the Hag deck is if you just don't find the Queen, it's there you go, that's it. But nonetheless, I still think the main use of Mickey is just, it's like in Ruby, just being able to put it down and just like really put pressure on. So I think A is still fair. Mini, like, I think most of cards of this stat line are going to just fall into C tier. I am actually going to go B tier just because there are a couple of shifted minis, and I'm seeing them see a little bit of play. I don't think they will do great in the long run. I think they're just seeing some testing play, but we'll go B for now. But that could easily just drop that back down to C. This Moana is trash, I'm afraid. This Mulan, I know there's some believers, but in my opinion, it's kind of trash. We did just get Scar and Shere Khan and a few extra ways to maybe boost this. We'll go C, but I do think I'm being generous. I think we have to go at least B tier for this Peter Pan because it's one of the only rushes that Ruby has in and of itself that can hit 3. Obviously, depending on what colour you're paired with, like if you were purple, then you've got things like Rafiki that would just always be the cool because he's also got 3 willpower. But just the rush, I think it deems a certain amount of respect, so B tier. This Mick, I think, is B tier. It's a perfectly good quester. This Pongo has fallen all the way to trash, I'm afraid. It probably was here towards the end of last format, but we just got too many evasive characters that are cheaper than Pongo that just take Pongo out. I think it's trash now, I'm afraid. This Rapunzel is absolutely... He's definitely the top of trash. We'll at least give you that. This new Scar, it's still trash, I'm afraid. This new Scar, I'm actually going to go C because there are some potential combos just with re-readying and stuff like the dwarves and a variety of things. So I think this Scar could... There's testing to be done. I still don't think it's going to end up being great, and I'm not saying you'll necessarily see it in top placement lists, but I think it's a little bit better than it was. Still not great. Sergeant Tibbs, I mean, C tier. Like, yeah, I just think anything of this stat line we're just going to put in C. This Stitch has some use for, like, mostly if you're playing Ruby Amber, just as a more aggressive quester. I still think it's probably just C tier. It's probably high end of C tier though. You could convince me to put it in B, but that's my instinct. This T-Car, I am actually going to put it in C just because with the addition of resist and more bulkier characters, there comes a world where this is like an answer to something. It's probably not. You probably just play Dragon's Fires, really, don't you? Yeah, maybe not. But you can combine it with Dinner Bell. That's quite interesting. Yeah, we're going to go C tier. I still don't think it's great, but like there's a bit more use for it. This Tigger we will put in this B tier because it does avoid most of the strong evasive stuff, although Tiana hits for 5. Maybe it is C tier now, to be honest. Probably high end of C tier. Be prepared, it's still an S tier card. Nothing more to say. Cut to the chase. Probably was D, but we'll go C just because action-based support, but I'm not massively confident. This stat line goes in C. Dragon's Fire, I'm just going to put S tier. It's still, like, it's just hard removal for... Dragon's Fire is good. We all know this to be true. Fan the Flames, I'm actually going to put in C. It would have been D, but I think there's more combos of re-readying, and there could be a bit more use to be gained out of it. He's got a sword. Love you for the memes. but you are D tier. Shout out to my man Mod and my man David, who I was playing Lorcana with last night, and we all agreed collectively that the next iconic Aladdin moment that we need in an action card is Iago saying, Jafar, I'm stuck. Just saying. I know we've got a Winnie the Pooh I'm stuck card. Let's make I'm stuck an entire archetype. Anyway, moving on to Tangles, garbage. Poison Apple, I am going to go C tier. It has niche uses. It's an item. I don't think it's good enough to warrant the B. It's probably the higher end of the C tier, though. Shield of Virtue is a fantastic card. I'm just going A straight away. This sword will go in C again. Like, you could, like, it's probably, yeah, it's low C. It's high D, low C, because, again, items. And we did get some more villains, so maybe it makes its way into things. Ariel, I'm kind of scared of with the addition. I haven't seen any playing or played against this OTK deck yet, so I don't know if it's gotten much stronger, but I haven't seen many videos pop up about it. So if it was I feel like if it was going to be incredible, someone would have already worked it out. We'll still go C tier, but maybe it drops or raises a little bit based on how consistent that deck is. This is hot garbage. Aurora, we have to put respect on the name. I think this is A tier. Moana, I think, is safe at B. Yeah, she's a fine addition to Princess Songs, which only got stronger, in my opinion. So yeah, I think B is fair. This Aurora, we probably go, yeah, we just go, it's this stat line. You have to give it a bit more respect because it has a shift target, like we did to Aladdin. I don't think it's B tier, but yeah, it's definitely high end of C. This Bell just got a little better because of more items, but I'm not a massive believer. We're going to go low C. This Bell, we will go B because respect for an innately quite strong ability, but it wasn't consistent season 1. We didn't get enough good ramp to make me think it's going to get any more consistent. I still think it's going to be better than Alice, but I still think it's only a B tier card. That may be my ultimate hot take of the day. We will put you in C just because support got a little bit stronger. Donald will go, I actually probably think it's D, to be honest. I'm not a fan. We did get more, there is more targeted, like War just did get stronger because we got more targeted stuff. So we will go C. Flounder, for the citizens of Lorcana and for the citizens of Lorcana only, we will at least put it in B tier, and outside of the generic stat line goes in C tier. Yeah, there you go. You're in B tier. Grandma Tala, I think, is a safe B. Hades, I think, is a safe A. Really strong and probably will continue to be strong. I think we got a better Jasmine than this to shift onto. Well, I know we did, but the I think to do with I think you could play that Jasmine instead of this one, but this one does still quest big, so we will go C tier. Healing just became a lot better, so there's a temptation to go B tier here. We'll go top of C, but you could convince me to put this in B. Mr. Smee, I love Mr. Smee, and he had use in meta decks because it was a great combo over Rapunzel. It is my belief, I could be wrong, but I do think that the just natural replacement for Mr. Smee is Piglet because it's got that 2-4 stat line, same cost and 2 lore. And I think 4 willpower is enough to guarantee that you get your Rapunzel off. And that's if Mr. Smee was even going to still see play, he might have faded out anyway. But if you did build a deck where you're like, I feel like I'd like a couple of Mr. Smee in here, you probably pay Piglet. You probably pay Piglet. Pay Piglet. You pay Piglet. Pay Piglet and he will do the most for you. We'll go C tier. We'll go higher C tier. I need to put some respect on the name of Mr. Smee. This Maleficent is hot garbage. This Maleficent was really good last season and I don't see that changing. There's a temptation for A tier here. It just was really strong. It's probably low A tier. This Maurice just got better because of items. I don't know how much better. We'll go C. You could potentially convince me to put this in B though. This Merlin is hot trash. This Mickey is really good. I think it warrants low A tier, to be honest. This Mufasa is garbage. This fit a TT support and it's a good early aggressor. I like it. This Robin Hood, yeah, I think B tier is probably also fair for you. This Scar, it saw a little bit of popularity last season. I was never a fan of seeing it. We'll go mid C tier. Tamatoa is probably similar to Maurice, but a little bit better. I don't know how good items are going to be. I'm sorry, I have to put it high C tier. I have to stick with my gut. This Prince Philip really needed rush all along. Just built-in rush. Is that so bad? Is that so hard? Yeah, it's probably like lowish C tier. King Triton was so unique because he was the only character with 9 willpower, and I thought that was so telling because he's clearly such an important part of the story. And then now they're giving everyone 9 willpower. We will go, just because I'm exaggerating, there are still not many that have 9, and it may becomes, especially because he's in Sapphire, and maybe there's some extra utility with Grand Puppy. But that's the best I can do. Develop your brain. It's high C tier, I think is fair. You could maybe convince me to put it in B tier, but like I'm going to put Bell towards the bottom of B for a start. Do I think it's worse than Bell? It's probably on par with Bell. All right, we'll go bottom of B, but this is one where you could convince me to go lower. It is a thing you could do. It's not Brock. It's not Brock Lesnar. Sorry, wrestling. Yeah, I mean, I was really hard on this card when I first reviewed it. I was like, it's so unreasonable for this to be uninkable. But I was definitely wrong. Like, recycling items is just strong. I didn't tie my hair today. I've only just realised. Sorry for the state of me, but hey, what you see is what you get. Yeah, like, we did get more items. We probably need to put this in at least C tier. Like, maybe mid to bottom C tier. Maybe it goes up or down a little to higher or bottom C tier, but that's about it. Let It Go is really, really good. I think we just have to S tier that straight away. One Jump Ahead, I think, is high B tier. Working together, support did get a little bit better, so we will put you. We just got more uses for support, is the way I should put that. So we will put you higher in D, but it's still trash. Coconut Basket has some utility with Grand Puppy, although I think there's probably better healing options, but we will go like high C is probably right. Eye of the Fate, I think, is a B tier card. It proved itself in said format. We'll put you about there. Fishborn Quill, I mean, it had, like, again, if you're working with steel and you're able to just like get full use out of this and then just wield, then it feels great, but I still think it's probably high C tier. Magic Golden Flower, I think, actually just got a lot better just because its utility with things like Flavisham, and yeah, just like in general, it's probably one of the higher C tier cards, to be honest. Like, obviously, like, these are kind of your bosses in item decks, but it's low cost like this that make the deck even kind of work. Pumbaa is trash, I'm afraid. Scepter, we have to say the same thing as we just said about Golden Flower. Aladdin, the silver one. Yeah, I mean, I put some respect on the name. We'll put you about... It's probably a bit higher than that. This did see some play. Yeah, we'll put you about there. I think that's a respectable stat line and cost. Beast would have been S tier if we hadn't just got a lot more removal. Item removal, should I say? I say a lot more, some. It's definitely still A tier. We definitely still put you in there. This Captain Hook that can recycle, I think that's probably low B, high C. We're going to go high C, I think is fair. Cerberus, I think that stat line could be important. We will actually put you bottom of B. This Captain Hook probably needs to go a little bit higher around sort of here, proven. Donald Duck, I'm sorry, buddy. You're probably mid C. You are hot garbage. Goons, we got to put, like, just like we did for the Citizens of Lorcana, we got to put some respect on the name for the Goons. Go subscribe to our friend the Goons. Rapunzel, S tier card all the way, always. Okay, this has gotten so big now that I'm going to struggle to... Oh, okay, I can wind my wheel on the mouse, just about. Hans, yeah, we have to put respect on the name. It's probably high B. That's probably where it fits. Again, this is all based on how I think things are going to do in Season 2. Mostly. This Hercules has got a shift partner, although we did just get a 2 cost, but I still think this got better. Yeah, we'll probably we go high C, I think. Yeah, I think that's right. Christoph, you are hot garbage, I'm afraid. Kronk, we'll put a little bit of respect on the name. Did see some play at the end of last season, but I'm not expecting huge things. This number may prove important to hit. We'll put you low C, could fall into D. This Maui, I saw a tiny bit of play, but I don't know if it's good enough. We'll go, like, around here, C tier. Musketeer, where did we put Donald? I am missing a duck. Where did I put that duck? There he is. We have to put you together, really. No, you don't belong in there. In fact, they should probably be a little bit lower down. Respect to the Musketeers, but Prince Eric was really good Season 1. Like, potentially an A tier card just because of its stapleness. but I do think it just fell off a little bit. We'll put you, like, there, B tier. I'm not sure it's going to see as much play as it did. Simba saw a lot of play. It's still a 1-drop with that ability as opposed to the new Cinderella we just got. So there's a chance it still retains some of its use. We'll go low B tier. Simba is probably towards the higher end of hot garbage. Sebastian, probably the same. This one is absolute hot garbage, I'm afraid. I'm afraid you're absolute hot garbage until we get some more captains, and even then you're probably not great. This T-Car's a little bit better. We'll probably put you around... like here, I think is fair in C tier. Tinkerbell is going all the way up to S tier 100% of the time. This Tinkerbell, yeah, I think we need to give the same respect to it that we gave Aladdin, but maybe a tiny bit more, just because I do think early Tink is like better than early Aladdin. Again, game state dependent, but more often. So yeah, we'll do that. Whole New World is easy S tier. It is proven and it's not going anywhere. Break, we really don't need. We'll put like somewhere here just because item benefit. Fire the Cannons is really good, and I don't see that stopping anytime soon. High B? Yeah, high B I think is fair. Grab Your Swords is an S tier card, 100%. We all know why, and it will continue to be. Ransack, that's trash. Aerial is an S tier card, absolutely. Like, say nothing else. Simba's really good. Yeah, I think we have to go high A tier for Simba. Smash, we did just get more chip cards and some that you might want to play. Like, there's a discussion of would you rather play, is it Strength for a Raging Fire? I believe it to be. But Smash is still really good. We're going to put it mid to high A tier. Beast Mirror saw some play, but really fell off. I think we're probably high C tier is probably fair for that. Frying Pan is trash. Musketeers to Bard. I think it's more of a fun deck, really. We probably put it in... No, we'll put you about here. It did actually make a couple of top placements, so maybe it does deserve it. Yeah, we'll go high C tier. I think that's probably the best I could do. Plasma Blaster is like we have more value from being able to ping, and it's also used last format anyway, so I think that's fair. Surface Stitch, I think we can all agree is an S tier card. The Baby Stitch, we need to put respect on the name, just because its shift target is that good. We're not going to go as high as Aladdin or Tink, but we probably we'll put you next to Flounder. I think that's a respectable position. Rockstar Stitch, while not really my cup of tea, is proven an S tier card. I think it's fair to say. Sorry, I have to do a little cut there to do a thing, but in the meantime, just to save some time, I've put all the, 1 and 2 cost, these sort of stat line characters just there, just to get that out of the way. This new Timon, obviously there's some versatility with being able to heal characters for Grand Puppy, but I think there's much better ways to do it, so I think this is trash. Be Our Guest, I think probably A is more than fair. It's probably really high A tier actually, especially because the song's just got better. I can't remember what it's called, but it's trash. Hakuna Matata, a song target, but I think there are better song targets. I think it's going to fall off, so we're going to go... It would have been higher in C tier just because it was a good target for Ariel, but I think we have better ones that we will now play. This is trash. Just in Time, you saw it a bit, but I'm not a big believer in it. Maybe there's some combos still to discover with new cards that makes it a little bit better. We'll go towards high C tier, but I still don't think it's great. This Cinderella saw some play because of just her ability to be able to have that she's got Singer 5, and she was bulky. I think Gaston in a lot of cases is going to be a replacement because it's cheaper, but I still think we need to put some respect on the names, and we're going to go low B tier. It probably would, last season it would have been higher B tier, but I think season 2 is going to fall off a little, but could be wrong. Part of Your World I think is strong. It's a song, it's recycle. I think we need to go, it's probably low A tier. Maybe that's too generous. We'll go high B tier. You Have Forgotten Me. It's bottom of S tier. There's an argument that it is just A tier. But when it got it's just so powerful. Sometimes you don't again, the reason it's you could argue A tier is because it's not always useful, and sometimes you don't even preferably want to play it because they have too many cards in the hand that you don't think it's worth the year. They're I still think it's just one of the most powerful cards in the game, possibly one of the most unfair ones. And in season 2 with things like King John, etc. Yeah, actually this needs to go a little higher in S tier. It's even better. Dingle Hopper just got a lot better, I think, because of Grand Puppy, but it would have been absolute trash tier, but I now actually think it's probably floating around high C. Lantern proved itself last season. I think that's probably bottom of S tier. Ursa Shell Necklace was trash, just got some support, and it is card draw. let's float you around the... maybe that feels too generous. We'll go middle C, but maybe there's more testing to do to make this better. This Anna is terrible. Dr. Facilier, I love you so much. I love the concept. It just never worked. It just never worked. We need to put you low B, but I really hope Season 2... I hope I'm wrong and you do end up being better. This one I probably could have added with these other low costs before. This one, it's a shift target, so it doesn't just go in trash, but it is low C. Goofy, we probably could have done you as well when I cut out. We'll just add you to the rest of the Musketeers if I can find them. There they are. This Elsa is absolutely trash. This Elsa's good. I'm a big fan. Falls off a little bit. I think it falls off a little bit. Season 2. I'm going to go around here. High B tier for Season 2. This Elsa I don't see going anywhere. I think this is perfectly reasonable S tier. Flotsam, I'm afraid not. This Jafar was my favourite art in the game, all the way up until Chapter 2. Rise of the Floodborn was renounced. So, big love for Jafar. Did see some placements. I was never a huge fan. Like, I would play the other Jafar before this one, the other Amethyst one with Challenger. But we need to put some respect on the name. I'm still only going to go upper C tier for Season 2, I'm afraid. Yeah, and I think probably the same for you for Season 2. Jetsam, I think, is going to have some utility. It hits those evasive numbers that we really want to hit, so I am going to go up a B tier. Magic Broom is proven really good. I'm going to go A tier. It's recycle. This Maleficent, I think, gets a little better, like, because it was worse than Lilo in last format because we had Simba to combo with it. But I do think this Maleficent gets a little bit better just based on, because you can turn to Madam Mim's Snake. Don't know how much better. I still think we're going to go probably around mid to high C tier, but maybe it's slightly better than that. Who knows? This Maleficent, I think, is a respectable high A tier card. I don't think it's going anywhere. This Hades, as much as I want the villain archetype to work, I still don't think we're there yet. We will put you round there, I think is fair. This Marshmallow, I think, is trash. It's probably one of the better trash, but it's trash. This Mickey, I don't think is as good as Broom, but oh, I threw it away. Here he is, I found him. Yeah, it's not as good as Broom, but it's still very good. I think we're going to go high end of B tier. And I know that's someone that, like, basically spent the season playing. You don't need to play this. And I still stand by that. But that was just I never said it wasn't good. I just wasn't sure. I didn't think it warranted the slot. And towards the end of the season, I ended up playing one in list myself. But I always understood, like, yeah, B tier I think is fair for season 2. This Pascal, I think, probably is respectable. It probably goes a little bit higher than just the basic stat line because it works well with the bounce stuff in Amethyst. And yeah, I like Pascal. I think he's a little bit better. Rafiki was really strong in last format. I stopped playing it just because I think it's way too easily set up Rapunzel. And the same is still true, but I still think it's really good. Deals with the new queen as well, which is going to be a... yeah, we go A tier for Rafiki. I think that's fair. This is trash. I really like this queen, but I can't in good faith anymore go much higher than around top of B. I think Amethyst has better draw options. Wardrobe, although you have a fairy godmother that just completely power creeped you, we will show some... I'm sorry, it would have been trashed here, but we will show respect to the wardrobe on Twitter and at least boost you up to C. It can work with Rapunzel. This Tinkerbell is trash. This Ursula's very good. I think probably low A tier is probably right for it. That may annoy people. Maybe it should be higher, but that's where I'm going to go. This Hades, again, we still don't have a lot of recycle. I think there's a temptation for S tier because it's just an ability that is so good. We don't have it on a lot of characters. We're going to go high S tier, high A tier. I think that's fair. We've got Yzma. She just got some shift targets, which really helped. So we are going to go around mid-B. Zeus saw some play, and I still respect him to a degree. We're going to go upper B tier. Befuddle is still really strong. Really, really strong, actually, I think. Especially in Season 2. Like, getting rid of the Amber Cinderella and the Amber Queen is going to be important. Freeze, I think, was underrated, but still not great. We're still just going to go bottom of... maybe that's too generous. Maybe it should be in D, but bottom of C. Friends on the other side, I'm sorry, but this is just an S tier card. If you're playing Amethyst, you should be playing it. It's just, yeah, I think it's S tier. Reflection was absolute trash, but we did get some cards like Mufasa and the new Mulan, which synergize nicely with it. And there's other synergy as well with things like Mickey, the random ramp from the top of your deck, having a little bit more control over that, etc. I'm still just going to go higher C tier. Magic Mirror is going to fall off with the extra item removal that we've got, but I still think we have to put it around mid B tier. Ursa's Cauldron, probably a little bit higher up, because at least we know that, I mean, the idea really is you put down Mirror on a turn where you then have enough ink to immediately draw from it, so you're always getting value, but that's an expensive turn. Yeah, I think Ursa's Cauldron is probably a little bit better this season. That's my thought. Pocket Watch, I actually am going to go S tier. I think this is such a powerful ability. Like, Rush is absolutely game-changing. On an item, yes, there's more item removal, but like, you can put this down and pay it's only 4, which it can be a lot in certain times, but it's like, it's not like, I think the 6 to put down Mirror and Draw is more unreasonable. But the Pocket Watch, and then you're only paying 1 each turn to get that Rush. Yeah, I like it is. You could argue me into high A, but I am going to go S tier. I do think Pocket Watch is that good. This new Aladdin has shift targets and has ward. I'm still not a huge believer. We'll go high, like mid C tier. I think it's the most respectable. This new Hey, I don't see it seeing play at all, to be honest. We're gonna go high trash. This new Beast, we did get shift targets, and there are more ways of chipping the enemy, so this probably does start to work its way into things. High C, low B. We'll go low B. The Wicked Smile Cheshire Cat is so good, and we've got to put some respect on the name, and this will play anyway. I think we could actually go low A tier for this. We'll go high B, but you could talk me around. This should be one that I already did. This Flynn Rider was strong last format. We have so much, like, it probably would have been A tier, but we have so much more chip, and it's prevalent. We've got the combinations with hand discard. We'll go low A, but it wouldn't surprise me if this ends up dropping and throughout the format. Genie is proven good, and I don't see him just disappearing. We will go low A tier. Like, yeah, I think I'm similar to Ursula. This new Genie was very fun to play in Fun Deck meta, but hot trash. But we did just get more more action support. So we will at least put you into like the mid C tier range, and as such, we should put the Genie, the Genie that we would prefer you shift on. I mean, we'll just put him with Donald. It's pretty much the same stat line, isn't it? This Hans, I think, stays strong. It's probably high B tier around these sort of cards. I think that's fair. This is trash, I'm afraid. This has some use just for early questing, and it helps you. It's a way to help you get Rapunzel online. Iago, big fan of you. Can't wait till you get some more cards. Why don't we need a Ruby Iago? I know that's kind of basic, just like, because he's red. But kind of, yeah. Like, I just feel like we should have red Ruby Iagos. And definitely a Floodborn one, like a Phoenix version of Iago. I know that's just a different bird, but you get my point. Nonetheless, I'm afraid this trash. Jasper, I see staying good. I think it falls off a little just because there are probably better options, but we still need to put some respect on the name. I'm probably going to we'll go bottom of B. Maybe it falls off more though and ends up being in C. I think that's fair. John Silver, I think, is still a very, very strong card. I think it probably sits around bottom of A tier. I still think it's so strong. You legit got power creeped. Kuzco, I still think is going to be really strong in Season 2. Shout out to my man, Breezy. Lady Tremaine, actions did just get better. I don't know how much better. I still can't go higher than bottom of C. Mad Hatter, I think, falls off a little bit in Emerald, to be honest. I think it probably falls somewhere around here, mid to high B tier. This Mega is another damage modifier, which saw some respectable play in Season 1, and I think it will still continue to see some play. So I think that's a nice place to put it, around those sort of cards. This Mickey, again, action's just got some port, but I just don't see it doing... No, I think we're going to go all the way with trash. we'll put you with that similar stat line. Although maybe that, like, to be honest, I feel like this Donald and Mickey and Genie could actually just come down to trash. I've kind of just tried to put them all, but yeah, I think they're a bit too much, to be honest. I think that I am going to actually just move these ones at the very least. Like the 1-3 is fine, that's respectable. But I think I am going to move these at least down to here. Maybe we... yeah, we'll do that, fine. This Lilo, I think, continues to be strong. It was a staple part of our first meta. I think, actually, probably this tier is warranted. Again, we do have more chip. So maybe it falls off for that reason. We'll put you around low A. We'll put you low A. Mother Gothel, I still think is a really strong card, but I do think it falls off a little bit. We're actually going to go high B tier. This Peter Pan maybe ends up seeing play just to be an evasive answer to things. So we'll put you around there in C tier. I think this Tinkerbell's going to fall off as well because I think it's too easily dealt with. We have too many things with that can hit for 3 that have evasive now, so not sure. I think you'd play this before you play the Lady Tremaine in most situations. Depends what your other color is. Like if you're playing Amber, then maybe you want this body Lady Tremaine as an extra Rapunzel target. We'll put them together. I think that's fair. Mother Knows Best, I think, continues to be a really strong card, even though we just got Bounce. I do think Bounce, like, well, again, they're different. You know, Bounce is cheaper, but you could sing this. So I think we have to respect it. Probably high A, I think is fair. Stampede, it just got a little bit easier to play with the extra chip we've got, but I still think it's trash. This is trash. Sudden Chill as the support, along with some of the Emerald cards that it can go with. I still think you'd play Hypnotize first, although you can sing this. We'll go high C. I think that's the best I can do for it for now. And then the Beast is mine. As much as I like, it's fun and I want it to be good, but it's just not. It's like, again, it can be good, but it's just two niche situations, and even then, it's not always putting enough work in. I think probably towards mid to lower C tier, I think is fair. So there we go. These are all our ratings, our S tier, A tier, B tier. Feel free to pause at any time if you want to just double check and let me know in comments if is there anything you strongly disagree with. Like, again, if it's something that I've said that I've put in A and you think it's high B, then I could probably come around to that line of thinking. But have I put anything anywhere that you think is completely off the mark and should be somewhere else entirely? Let me know down in the comments. And yeah, let me know what our custom tier rating should be for the future. And again, this is my first time doing a tier list rating like this. So if you enjoy this sort of content, interact with it, comment, like, and I will listen to the feedback. I will do the sort of things that, like, I want the audience to see. Obviously, I've got to want to do it as well, but yeah, I will listen to you, so let me know in comments. But thank you so much for joining us. If you're brand new to the channel, please do subscribe for all future Lorcana content. Hit the like button to show your support, and we'll see you soon.